book also say that if you receive your money through unrighteous ways, then you're gonna perish with it.
Right.
This is in the book of Sirach. So
Right.
it's not necessarily the money, it's how you get the money.
No, that's what it says, brother. It says money answers everything.
So y'all want me to listen to a bunch of broke niggas talk about money? The Bible is a group of broke niggas.
See, we good at tearing each other down like that. A bunch of broke niggas talking about money.
Right.
You can't build nothing, man. You can't build nothing.
I'm not tearing nobody down. I'm giving you the Hebrews was broke.
Why you want to start a fight? Like D-Rez, he just want to start fights for nothing. Why you trying to start a fight, nephew?
I'm saying
well then, hold on. The brother had a legitimate, sincere question. Let's deal with the brother. He said it's how you get the money, and everybody on here agrees with that. But
no. Hold on. Unc don't agree with that. Nope.
Yeah, except for Unc.
It's what you do with the money.
And D-Rez.
You can murder a nigga and get 10 million and do the right thing with the money. Yo, I ain't trying to hear that shit.
Right. We disagree with some of us disagree with that. So now I'm dealing strictly with the brother who has the legitimate, sincere concern, nephew. So stop arguing. Okay, so now, but the book says that money answers everything. So just like Unc said, you can body somebody and get $10 million and then do the right thing with that money. Which we disagree that that's how you should get the money. Okay, you and I. So now I'm telling you that money itself is the answer to everything.
Okay, so once you get these assets and you get these funds, how you gonna protect it?
Get it? That's all great and gravy, but
have to protect
we've already learned how to get reparations, so that's a technique that needs to happen.
He said protect from what? You just brought up that our people killing our people and slaying our people, right?
Prevent people from robbing and selling drugs and killing people.
Listen, Unc brought that
so
up.
Much.
That's even more proof that we need a security blanket or a militia or something policing the community. Y'all not gonna get over that. If we talking about black restoration, that's something that has to be dealt with. The problem is
we have those in place. So why are you talking about it? Like, why don't you go talk to them, call them, and get them on the phone and talk to them about something?
But see,
the people on this phone is not gonna create no.
If you give black people $100,000 tomorrow, you're gonna need people to secure one another because you're gonna have half of them gonna want to rob the other person who got the other $100, the other $100,000.
Not if he got $100,000.
See, he think if you flash a bunch of money to the black community, that's gonna solve all the social ills of our people. That's not gonna be the case.
No, that's not 80% of the young black girls being molested, right?
Yeah. Okay, that's a good point. A bunch of money to the black community, is that gonna solve the molestation rate of the little black girls in our community?
Yeah.
Because now they gonna be buying kids.
Exactly.
No, it says money answers everything. It don't say.
Did it freeze?
Crime is part of everything. Everything.
Crime only happens due to poverty.
So molestation is a result of poverty?
That's right.
Adultery is a result of adultery is a result of poverty. Come on, man. We gotta stop it. We gotta stop it, man.
Yeah, we gotta.
Yeah, that don't.
So rape.
Yeah, money is the root of all evil. That's the answer. The word is unarmed.
Money. It don't say that. Who said money is the root of all evil? Who lied?
Money is the root of all evil. The reason why that is happening is.
Are you a Bible believer or are you just
let that man
some type of scoffer?
You want to hear him?
I'm asking him the question.
Let him say it. Let me.
I'm trying to go back and forth with you. Do you believe in the Bible or are you just talking?
No, I don't believe in the Bible.
Okay, so stop saying that the money is the root of all evil. It's greed.
That's
greed
a bad
is the root of all evil.
You see how you responded to what I stated by asking me that question? See how you responded? That's what enough means. The word is answered in the English. The way you using it, you don't understand it. The reason why these things are happening is because of the love of money.
It's the root of all evil. It's the love of money.
Of all evil. The source of it. Feast maketh merry. Wine maketh merry. The whole point is money is the reason behind it. It's the love of the money itself, but it's the love for it.
Right.
You can't have a bank without the money.
How you live.
You can't buy
That's why
wine without
a lot
money.
of black girls go missing.
Getting it how you live is the root of all evil.
There's a sex
It's
trade
the feelings
going on.
and the emotions behind the love of money.
Getting money
right,
how you
Don.
live is the root of all
Money
evil.
itself is what people are willing to do
Right,
because of
'cause
how they
you
feel
know why
about
black
it.
girls-
I'm so happy that
You know why black girls ain't
protected?
protected? Because we ain't got our own militia. It's our constitutional right to have a militia to protect us from
you
threats
militia
or
dude,
domestic
man.
or
And if
foreign.
we had the money,
militias.
we could do something about it.
Why do you keep
Domestic or
saying that? We
foreign
already
threats.
have militias.
Look, they laugh. He
No,
laughing.
no, we
at
don't
it.
have a black
But
militia. We don't
the
have a
reason why
black
the
militia
sex
nowhere.
trade, the reason why the sex trade is affecting the black community the most,
Are
because we don't have any
you dumb
protection.
enough to say that
don't have any
NSAC is not a
protection.
militia?
We don't have no money. Our daughters got to get out there and hold to make money because moms ain't got enough money. She on crack, daddy ain't around. He on drugs and drunk and alcohol. So what she gonna do is gonna try to get with the guys that's got money, and that's where a lot of that shit happens with the snatching the human body. Every 30 seconds, another body gone. A Nazi.
Poverty.
Poverty, bro.
There's nobody there.
Go to your local Walmart and look on that wall where it says missing girls and missing children. It's gonna be majority of our kids up there. Keep it 100, man. It's gonna be majority of our children from our community.
Okay, we know the problem.
Okay, so why are y'all fighting against a militia
Stop
then?
begging the question.
Why y'all
Because
fighting
the
against a
militias are already in place, nigga.
So why they not protecting our little girls then?
Right.
Yo got militia on the brand,
Breonna Taylor ain't a little girl.
We don't have black militias. I don't know where you get that from. We have black militias.
50 million white people with guns, 54 million black.
No, we're not talking about just a bunch of random people with guns, Ankh.
We're talking about black militias, bro.
You know, can somebody explain to me what a militia is?
He didn't say form a militia and start a war against white people. He said start a militia and protect the little girls that get kidnapped and recover them.
We
understand what you're talking about, bro.
We used to have a community watch when I was growing up. We used to have that.
Yep.
Now white folks have it. White folks have it too, but we don't have that amongst black folks anymore. We don't, because we don't give a goddamn.
I totally
community watch. Your neighbor watch my children. I'm your neighbor. I'll watch your children. And the neighbor down the street. We call one another. We get to know one another. We have.
And that's how the kids started getting molested. So now I'm trying to tell you, put the money in their hands.
No,
that's how the kids
started happening.
Yes,
that's ridiculous. No, that's the way we were protecting one another.
No, that's how they was getting molested.
Where you got that from? I have no idea. You go in a neighborhood that's got community watch and see how many kids you gonna just pick up and just stroll out of there without nobody.
They don't no strangers got to come around and kidnap them. The community is the ones molesting the kids. Crazy, man.
Y'all talking two separate things right now.
I know we talking about two separate things.
Yeah, y'all
go in a white community, go in a gated white community, and see if you can pull that. You gonna snatch somebody's kid up out of there.
Nobody said. I didn't say a stranger comes into the white community and do that. I said the white community themselves is doing it to their own kids.
That's one thing.
So you guys don't listen real good.
We're talking about us. We're talking about us right now.
Well, you the one that said white community, so
I'm using that as an example to say it. And I also stated when I was growing up,
brought up the
community watch. We had community watches. We had community meetings amongst black folks. We would come together and talk. The adults would do that.
That's the point too, Don. Majority of these little girls getting molested by other black people. So for Ankh talking about, oh, you want to kill your sons? The sons is killing our community.
That's right.
Come on,
man. Hey, come on, man. Y'all cut off all this. I ain't know where the hell I was.
See, we have a short-term memory. We don't seem to get this shit. The whole point is, we had community. Not only did we have community meetings, we also had community recreation.
Right, and then back and forth everywhere.
I know we everywhere, yo. Can we just stick to one thing, yo? We everywhere.
Programs. We had summertime programs. And
just shoot with a live
like that.
We
had all
we already there.
That shit just
they don't got no focus.
That shit just totally, completely just said, fuck it, fuck y'all.
Which room is this? Is this the source room? One of the source rooms or what? I'm trying to be sure I'm protected.
You're here.
I won't let y'all know y'all got like 5 great topics and y'all just won't finish one.
Right. You gotta focus on one at a time. Good
God Almighty.
Now I got the best idea.
We talking about black restoration plans.
So
we talking about black restoration plans.
Focus on the best idea.
Huh?
We talking about black restoration plans. That's the topic.
Right.
And I believe we can't have black restoration without a militia.
Okay, so hold on. So let's focus on. Hold on for a minute. Wait. So let's focus on the militia aspect of it. That's define what the militia.
Okay, let's do that. That's what I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt and start diving into his idea. But I keep trying to tell him that militias are already in place.
Bring us some gloves. Okay, what is a militia though?
That's a good one. What militia do we have in place? What military force do we have in place? That's a good one. What do black folks have?
Militias are not militaries. Militias are not militaries. First, you got to understand the definition of militia, brother.
Okay,
it's a group of people that are armed. That's a militia.
It's
not a military.
Okay,
what's militia? Is a well-regulated group of citizens that are not military.
Okay.
And armed, but you got to be regulated. Right?
Okay.
Right.
That's the key point.
I could have swore I just defined it for the
man, come on,
who was confused.
But you just minimize the word army too at the same time. You just
because it's illegal. We're saying that because it's illegal to call it an army and a military.
But that's
you trying to get everybody locked up or what?
No. See. Obviously, you don't understand militia there. It is an army of people that come together collectively for the protection of whoever's interest.
Okay, now we got the understanding of a militia. Now, the topic is the militia needs to focus on recovering the kidnapped children and finding where they're at and who's doing it.
Right, and that takes money. That takes money. That takes people in power. That takes
money. Money ain't nothing but words.
That takes judge. I mean, even if you're doing it under the table, you still need people in power to do that.
I ain't talking about under the table. I'm talking about over the table. I said money ain't nothing but words. So if everybody speaks the same thing, the money goes to the people who are going to perform those tasks.
Yeah, but you're not describing the how.
I just said how.
Wait.
I said everybody. Okay. This is Joshua's idea, right? He said that a militia needs to hunt down the hunters of hunt down the hunters of our children, black children.
So what if they drag them to China? How is our army gonna do that? How is our militia gonna get to China?
China.
Yeah.
Y'all say hunt down the hunters.
Yeah, he said hunt down the hunters. Okay, so if we go with that.
I don't know if you sane or not. I like talking to sane people, brother.
Well, when you become a psychologist or psychiatrist, then we can bring you.
Then you go crazy.
Go in your office and you can evaluate if you're insane or not.
That drives you crazy.
You're just another special snowflake in the back chat of the source. But thanks for playing.
Okay, so that drives you crazy when you become a psychologist.
I just got jokes too, and I like when Joshua laughs because the shit can really be funny when he laughs.
I'm trying to figure out how the Chinese government is kidnapping our black babies from our neighborhoods.
The same way the American government is doing.
Man,
any other government is doing.
It's black people snatching up black kids, man. See, we gloss over the evil. Hold on, we gloss over the evil that our own people do, and I don't know why we do that. Agree. But that ain't cool.
Yeah, because they black.
It ain't cool. It ain't cool. Blacks doing it, whites doing it, Chinese doing it.
Can we talk about that point? Can we talk about that point? That's a great point.
No, we're going to stick with the militia. That's the topic right now.
Yep.
And we're going to figure this out. And we're going to say the militias are already there, as I done told this man multiple times. Now, what's your next move, Joshua? Let's go one move at a time. How about that?
Could you name for us one black militia group that you know of?
NFAC, stupid nigga. Hurry up.
Where are they present? Where are they present in the community?
Let me see where they are.
Where are they present in the community?
Man, they pull up at every in every police injustice. That's the focus right now. Is police injustice right now. That's the focus of the national focus. So Joshua wants to change the national focus to hunting down the kidnappers of our black babies.
They should be focusing on the crime, right? Within the community, right? Okay, there is police violence, but there's a lot of people in that direction. So I don't really feel I don't really see how they need it there. They might need to show up from time to time as a presence, but other than that, they just wasting time over there.
Who, the police?
No, I'm saying these black militias, they should be where they're needed most.
Yeah, they hitting the site. I don't see them, yo.
These black militias must be protesters. I think he's confusing protesters with black militias.
That's what I think. I mean, I see showcasers. I see militias that show up as a showcase when something happens, but other than that, you don't ever see it.
Hey, the closest thing we had, Christos, was the Detroit 300. Now, them boys was a militia.
11 in Texas.
Hold on, let me read that article. Hold on.
The topic
just
of
emerged
you
in
don't
2016.
to build on it about Joshua.
Human trafficking.
Hey, no, what I'm saying is,
All right, go ahead.
back to that point was this. Anyway, I got this article. I didn't forgot, man. My wife showed me this article. But Texas DPS arrests 11 in human trafficking operation. This is in Lubbock, Texas. And according to this report, the people that was kidnapping our children were either black or Mexican. So whoever threw it on a foreign government saying the Chinese is doing it, our problem is majority of our problems of violence and kidnapping come from a domestic place, not a foreign place, man. It's domestic. That's why correcting our own people.
And somebody paid them people to do that too. That's what I'm saying. Like they
And
got
not only that,
little,
the same black folks and the
hold
same
on, brother. Why you?
The same.
When you hear my voice,
also,
why do you start talking when you hear my voice,
say, bro? You know you really emotional today. Now that's the third outburst.
I'm always emotional.
Do it again.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make you a peanut butter sandwich and sit your ass in the corner.
All life has emotion. Okay, so I'm trying to tell you, when I start talking, don't just start talking.
Man, I don't know who the hell you are, but this is the fourth.
Who gives a fuck what you know about, bro? I didn't ask you what you know about.
Time out. You need to shut the hell up.
Come on, man. Listen, man. Come on, man.
Ain't nobody getting emotional. But
we have to show decorum.
All life has emotion,
7 people
bro.
on this chat, bro. If you can't handle somebody in the
all life has emotion,
you
brother.
You don't need to be in the chat, bro.
You're the one that can't handle it because you keep talking, and I'm trying to engage Yashu on the topic.
Already,
we do have to yield. We do have to yield to one another, though. I mean, we do have to yield at some point. I mean,
he act like he can't just chill with that, you know.
All right, now Joshua, you said kidnapping. Okay, so the blacks and Hispanics are kidnapping the kids. So I was adding, it's my move, and I was telling you that they have these organizations who recruit those people and pay those people, and these are rich white, old fogey white people. You see what I'm saying? Like they in their 60s and 70s.
What
them groups are paying the young people, huh?
What do you do to traders, man?
Curb stomp them.
Hold on, stop.
Well, yeah, you get them too. Yeah.
What do you do to traders?
Get them.
Okay, then. So all I'm saying is we got to address the problem and police our own. Once we start policing our own, that's what's going to make us a strong community, because we're going to be able to weed out the bad eggs, right?
Okay, now it's my move.
Purge our community of everything that's holding us back. You understand?
Okay, now it's my move. Right, but how can you identify who is kidnapping the babies? By the time you identify them and arrest them, right? They done already kidnapped 50 kids. So I am saying that we have to identify the old white people who are paying the young people, the desperate young broke people, to do that.
I agree. We do need to tackle those situations, but it starts at home first, and then we can do that. after we solve what's going on with our own people first, get rid of the traitors, what do you call it, Rotacrucians? The Rotacrucians that come in and infiltrate and do these negative things and cause harm. And it ain't just for the kidnapping things, it's to get the drugs out of our community.
Let's stick to one at a time. One at a time, bro.
All right, well, go ahead. Respond to that. Get
the drugs. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how in the world, can you possibly identify these Black and Hispanic kidnappers before they kidnap 50 kids? How? It's not possible.
Understand. These people ain't nothing but parents. These people ain't nothing but parents. These kids. I'm talking about the most Black folks. And not just the point about these criminals. We have OCS, DHS, legal services called under the guise of child protection service. They're kidnapping our children as well.
Yes, they are.
Doing it legally. They're doing it legally.
Now we're getting to the right information. That's what I'm trying to tell Joshua. It's these organizations out here who are doing the majority of the kidnapping, and then there are private groups of perverts that are rich that pay and go on the dark web and all that stuff to recruit the Blacks and Hispanics that you just mentioned in Lubbock, Texas.
Yeah, but if you didn't have our own people kidnapping these kids and selling them to these organizations, as you say, it wouldn't be a problem now, would it? Get rid of the middleman. That's all I'm saying.
How do you find them? I done asked you that numerous times, but you keep repeating.
We will have to launch
an investigation. We got to get rid of somebody that we don't know.
We will have to launch an investigation and be hyper vigilant in our own communities. That's why Doug brought up the community watch that he grew up in. We don't have that no more. We're not hyper vigilant. We don't care what's going on in our own communities. We don't.
I actually do that now, and I got a group of white people that work on that and look for missing children. They done found about 136 this year.
Oh!
So it is possible, but I would suggest using white people to do those types of things.
Okay, so you said you are connected with these people, right?
Yeah, who look for people.
Okay, now, did they ever tell you who is recruiting? Because they found the kids in the possession of somebody. So that person kidnapped those kids.
They follow the chips. Sometimes they end up finding the person who's the buyer. Sometimes they don't. And usually, even if you got a buyer above that. So I understand what you're saying. It's levels to it. It goes beyond just the person. It's supply and demand, basically, just like anything else.
Right.
So yeah, I understand what you're saying.
But what my question was, no, I understand that you understand those levels, and I'm really impressed that you are connected with the people that you're talking about. But my question is, have they ever told you
us?
No. Yeah. Listen to the question, brother. How you gonna answer a question before you even hear it?
I was listening earlier.
No. Okay. Well, so what was my question? So make sure you understand what I'm asking.
Well, I don't know what your question is, but I thought you were reiterating what you were saying earlier. But you make it to you.
Okay. So my question was, did the people that you connected with, have they ever disclosed to y'all who is doing it? Who is, who they have identified as the buyers? Like, and are those buyers connected and stuff like along those lines?
Yes. That's what I'm saying. Because sometimes like I said, you might have two guys in a neighborhood buying a kid, but they buying that kid for somebody, and then that goes to somebody else. It usually don't get past the third tier. You know what I mean? The third person in line. It usually don't even go. I know it probably goes beyond that, but things are so wrapped tight. But I understand what you're saying. You have to be able to put people in the position to go into those places to be able to almost infiltrate. You got to investigate. You got to infiltrate. You got to go in there, physically be there to catch these people doing these things, just like real investigators.
Okay, so now you're connected with those people, but they haven't made connections on the buying levels the first tier and second tier and third tier buying levels. They haven't really made connections. It appears random.
In some cases they have. In some cases they have, but in many cases they don't get that far. Because people don't usually turn these people in. You know what I mean? It's just like any other criminal. They don't usually turn these people in. So it only goes so far. That's why you need to set up a network to be able to infiltrate these people. And I would suggest using white people because they can go places that you typically can't. I mean, you can,
especially in those circles. All right, so go ahead, Josh. Now you don't move.
I mean, y'all made excellent points, but it goes back and speaks to what I said earlier. Until we get this militia involved in our community, not this bunch of people that we call militias, involved in actually protecting us and actually purging the community of, like I said, the drug dealers. That's the next part.
I agree.
We talked about the molestation, which is hurting us. Now we talking about drug dealers. We gotta get these drug dealers out of here, cause y'all say, "Oh well, they getting the drugs from Cuba, or they getting the drugs from Central America. They getting it from Colombia." But yeah, if ain't nobody panhandling, ain't nobody selling this stuff hand to hand, then we won't be a problem if it is coming to America. Keep it out of our community. That's all I'm caring about. Keep it out.
That's right. Supply and demand, exactly. But just like you said, we need a physical.
Hold on. That's a strong point he just made, because now I'm getting what he's saying about the kidnapping. Okay, as long as you get rid of the kidnapper in your neighborhood, now there ain't no kidnapping going on in your neighborhood. There ain't no buying and selling of kids in your neighborhood.
Exactly.
And then you continue.
Yeah, because they're gonna have to go somewhere else to be getting kids. Supply and demand. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right, and we gotta get rid of people
he's making a good point on it.
And we gotta excommunicate people that's against the militia, because what happened with the Detroit 300, it was black women. It was a black woman, or maybe been two black women. I can't remember. The one who basically went to the court and filed charges against those people. You understand? And it was helping the community. You had their own go and file charges against them.
What was her charges?
I gotta look up the article when this happened, but you can look up the Detroit 300 in their indictment or whatever when they went to court. It's because they were trying to stop the drug dealers, trying to stop the kidnapping, and all those things. And a black woman felt offended because I guess they got one of her boyfriends detained, and she went to court against him and tried to file an act of vigilance or something like that, something to that effect. I'm going off memory, so don't hold me to any of that, but. We got to get rid of those type of people, man. Because at the end of the day, anybody that's against the
how do you do that? The
upper mobility of excommunication. It's easy. That's what we did. You believe in the Bible? That's what we did in the old days.
Yeah, but the new book say there ain't no more excommunication.
Paul said, "I deliver you unto Satan." Does he not? That's excommunication.
He said he used to do that until he found Christ.
No, that was in the book of Corinthians.
Right. He said that's what he did. He sent them to hell before he found Christ. But listen, I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so you got a good point. Go in and get the little people, and then the big people won't have anybody to depend on.
Right.
Okay, so but then when you talk about people complaining and going to the man, by the time they go to the man, it's too late. Now you a fed case. So that ain't no way. I'm saying there ain't no way to figure them out. It's just like trying to figure out who's doing the kidnapping. You have to go in and investigate and do all that good stuff.
No, of course this is a layered argument, right? So we have to add hyper vigilance there as well, being observant and circumspect of what's going on in our community. We have no clue what's going on in our community. That's why the black communities.
We don't know none of our neighbors. Nobody ever comes outside and meets each other.
Right.
Yeah, all that's going to take talking to people. That's what that's going to come down to. Even if you just hold it, even if you just hold in 1 block a week and start 1 block at a time. Maybe you can get people not frightened enough to go sit in a meeting.
And I want to say this before we continue.
That's why we need a big injection of money into the community.
Right, Claims. I want to make this
fighting
known.
ain't gonna never stop.
When we start talking about black restoration and solving black problems, these black conscious cats, these conscious community cats, leave. Ankh ain't no longer in the room. Because it ain't talking about chopping people head. Oh, I'm gonna chop y'all heads off. It's an argument. Oh, science and you black people don't know nothing. Now, since we took that away from him and we got to actually talk about some constructive stuff.
Okay.
He left.
All right. So now you figured out how to stop the banging. Always talk about building around provocateurs.
That's right? Cold. That's cold all day. Now, I'm not going to say debating is wrong, but at the end of the day, it's got to have something constructive come out of it, you know.
Right. But you're supposed to debate during the building process. I'm sorry for cutting your wisdom. You got to debate during the building process. So you start off
debate as you build. Yeah.
Yeah. And you say, man, I ain't, don't put the brick over there. Put the brick right here. You put the plaster on it. You see what I'm saying? Now, I ain't got time to teach somebody how to build. You know what I'm saying? That's something. No, I ain't got time to do that. Now we started off. He came up with an idea. He said we need militias. I said militias are already here. He said, okay, well we need these militias to get involved in the kidnapping trade. And then we found out that it's layered, where it's got 3, 4, 5 tiers of rich people doing that. And the organizations, including the DSS and whatever you said, the child protection services and stuff.
Then we need to have some of these leaders of these militias in here so we can find out exactly what their mission statements are. What are their agendas or their schedules? Like what are they actually working on? Not just the idea of having a militia, but what are you actually working on?
Right.
Or forming.
Right. Let's get them on.
Or those of us who don't have felonies, form it yourself.
Somebody call.
And you could be a part of you could be a part of a militia and not hold a firearm, because there's other things to do within a militia. It's not just firearms.
Right.
So that could start anytime. That could start today. Actually, it's not something that's, I wouldn't imagine if we ask enough questions, you're gonna get enough answers on how to perform such a thing. I don't personally know about how, the ins and outs of how to get it done, but I'm sure if we put all our heads together, we could figure it out.
Neither does your shoes. Okay, so since y'all don't know how to do this, let's get back to the best idea. The best idea is getting reparations and put the money in the hands of the people. And then the second thing
I don't think that's a good idea.
I didn't ask you that part. I didn't ask you that. Hey, brother, why you cutting me off again? I told you about that.
Okay, no, that was other guy, but I concur. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So, so the second part of that is what D. Red said. He said the people got to learn how to use money. Well, he said to teach them how to use money first before they even touch any money. So I don't think that's smart. You got to put the money in their hand first and then teach them how to use it so they don't squander it. Okay, that's great. But as far as the money getting to them, it's going to be a yearly payment. So then we can develop the training to how to use money and how to use credit. Now, I don't even like using credit. I ain't never used credit. Yes, I have. I'm lying. But on a mass scale, you know what I'm saying?
But now we're talking about invisible money. Promissory. We're literally talking about promissory notes from people who give no fucks about us. We're counting something that isn't there.
I don't know what you mean by that.
Well, you said reparations. I mean, what does that mean? What do you mean when you say reparations?
The ultimate goal, right, is the land and money. But it's a whole lot of other things that need to be in place, like the training. Like
Wait a minute.
like
Wait a
you said,
minute.
about the trades. The trades. And
Again, I ask. You said this money is going to come from reparations. What is that?
What is reparations?
Mm-hmm.
Reparations is land and money again, and but it also includes training. So I've defined it for you 3-4 times already.
And where does this reparations come from?
The training is going to have to be done by us. The land is going to have to come from the owners of the land, which is America. The money is going to have to come from the bank.
So this money is just going to magically show up, or what?
You know, it's this diligent work that we do as a group, just like the Gay Pact that gave Obama $30 million, and then he passed legislation to make
hands and futures on the promissory note that someone else is supposed to dish out. Is that what you're saying?
That's what all we're talking about is the future.
Right. I'm talking about this reparations, because the base of the money, it sounds like you're saying, is going to come from the people who don't like us. So we hinging our plans and ideas on money that's supposed to come from the same people that we trying to fight. Is that what you're saying?
Not exactly. Well, I see how it sounds like that.
Where does reparations come from again?
The bank.
Who is the bank?
The bank is a Filipino guy.
Okay, so the Filipino guy, the Filipino guy is gonna give us this magical reparations. Because right now it's magical. I don't know what it is. I'm still trying to understand what that is when people say to me reparations. It's magical right now. Because it's been on the table for almost 100 years.
Right. So that's the ultimate goal of the free.
But it's been a goal. But that's been a goal for 100 years.
Yeah, that's because people like you stopped doing the work and then shut down anybody who's trying to do the work.
But how do you know I'm not working for reparations? I'm not saying don't work for it, but I'm saying
guiding the conversation. You're guiding it away from it. You're saying it's magical, and
it is magical because it hasn't occurred. But let me just
the entire future has not occurred yet, brother.
Let me just say that I do speak for Let me just say that I do speak for reparations. However, I am realistic to understand that it's coming from the enemies of our people.
Okay.
So I don't necessarily expect it to show up.
Okay, great. Now, which reparations plan and which reparation group do you prefer? And are you speaking and promoting?
Ice Cube, mostly.
You got to be shitting me. Ice Cube just started 2 months ago. So you ain't did nothing. You just lying for why are you doing that?
People been asking for reparations for almost 100 years. It doesn't matter if he started 2 months ago. We can start next week and it's still going to be the same plan because it's a ghostly.
What do you do for Ice Cube?
It is a ghostly plan.
What do you do for Ice Cube?
It is a ghostly plan.
Ice Cube's plan is a ghostly plan, but that's the one you prefer?
They're all ghostly plans because there's something that has not occurred.
Okay, so
Been
what do you do for the concept of reparations? What do you do for the concept of reparations? Could you please
I'm talking to you right now.
Natural questions.
I'm talking to you right now about it.
Talking. I said do. I said what do you do? I didn't say what do you say.
Talking is doing. Talking is doing. That is an action.
Okay, so you're talking to me about reparations and
The
saying
same way. The same way Ice Cube spoke to me. Yes.
Okay, so y'all spoke in person. I mean, on the Zoom and all that good stuff. Yeah, I believe you. Listen, brother, why are you so contentious? Just answer the question. It's so natural. It's just so. I'm just trying to converse with you.
Can someone speak to you without speaking to you directly?
Yes.
Okay. Well, then that's it.
Okay, so you didn't speak to him on the thing. He spoke to you through his publications and public outcry for reparations, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Yes. Okay, great. Now, I get it now. So just understand that I'm trying to follow you, but you do that damn Kimite shuffle too much. Stop doing that so I can follow what you're saying clearly. All right.
I don't know what the Kimite shuffle is. I don't understand what that is.
Well, that's the plan that you prefer, and so you talk to other people. What?
I looked at reparations. I just told you that. I do look at reparations. I do talk to people about reparations. But I'm realistic enough to understand that plan has been around for a long time.
So what?
So I'm realistic on that. And I do understand who it's coming from or who it's proposed to come from. So I have to be realistic. Now, if you want to talk about an economic plan outside of reparations that we could fall on,
we're on the reparations topic right now. We're not talking about self economic building in your own home, which everybody should automatically be doing. So we're on the reparations topic, and so you said talking to me is the most that you do about reparations, but reparations gets done with conversations and debates and contracts with the people who can make it happen.
Okay, so how is all of that not the same thing? I'm not understanding. Conversation, okay, that's within the parameters. Contracting, Ice Cube has the contract.
Holy shit!
Right?
He don't have no contract.
And communication.
He doesn't have a contract, brother. He calls his plan the contract with Black America, but no one has signed the contract. It's not a contract until two parties agree and sign the piece of paper, brother.
You mean it's not a contract agreed upon?
Right, that's correct. It's not enforceable. It's not tangible. It has no force. It has no.
But that's my point. That's my point, though. None of them are.
Right.
They are all proposed for the past.
Okay, so I don't disagree with that.
100 years. That's my whole point.
Repeating yourself does not move us further, brother. Repeating yourself doesn't move us further. So we need to figure out how to get these contracts signed.
That would take talking to more people and changing the landscape and thoughts of the people around the idea proposed. Right?
Okay. Absolutely. Now, who are these people?
Each and every person that you talk to. If the subject comes up, bring up the contract. A lot of people don't even know about the contract. And they talk and they'll end up talking to the next person. They might look into it. You know, that's how you grow a tree. You got to plant the seed in order for it to grow and go anywhere.
Really? Is that right? Okay. Now let me ask you this: on Jekyll Island, right? You
Okay.
got 6 white clowns on Jekyll Island figuring out the future like we're doing now. There's 5 of us in here, and they figured out the future. They made a plan. They agreed upon it. Those 6 people, 6 white clowns, agreed on the plan that they came up with, and then they went to somebody else, which was the leader of the country, and that person signed their plan.
Yes, because they went to another white person and they had the idea to bond together their white supremacist ideology, which they do best, and they got that done, of course.
I didn't ask
Where's
you
the problem?
why.
Where is the problem?
I didn't ask you why, brother. I didn't ask you why.
I'm just agreeing with you.
Okay, I showed you how they did something. They envisioned the future, or the future that they wanted to see for their people. They wrote it down, and they debated about it for days. They came up with a final copy that they all agreed on, and they signed it. Then they went to the leader of the country and told him, sign this. And the leader of the country said, oh, okay, it's a good idea. So I'm showing you the process, brother. So that's the process. So that's all we need to do. So we need to iron out the details of the plan that we want to present to the leader of the country. And then we need to go to the leader of the country after we agree on something. But I don't know if I'm speaking to the right person. You see what I'm saying? I talk to my people. I got a whole nother circle of people. I'm the youngest elder of the Friends of the African Union. I'm a member of Learn, who was part of Ma'afa 21, the video that exposed abortion and all that stuff. And then I got a whole bunch of other stuff going on. So I don't know if I'm speaking to the right person that's going to make this happen.
Like I said, okay, just like this, we just went over this already, and I'm probably just gonna sound like I'm repeating myself. ICE Crew has already put forth a contract to be put into the hands of legislature. That's the plan. But first they have to iron out the contract and find out what everybody wants. That comes to questions and answers. And then they move to the next step. My only job in that whole thing is to tell people about it along the way. Those people tell other people.
Okay.
It's the same process. It's literally the same process.
Okay, cool. Okay, that's working for me. I'll allow you to continue. That's working for me.
Now my thing is, how does that work with this militia? Because a militia can be started.
No. We still talking about reparations, brother.
Okay, we changed the reparations. Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
we changed the topic.
We changed. Okay. I don't think we should give.
It's a ghost. It's a ghost.
I don't think we should. I don't think we should give people.
Now let me ask you this: was the Jekyll Island plan ghost
white supremacy
before it became manifested as a human?
No, it was white supremacy before it became manifested.
White supremacy is not a ghost.
No, of course not.
Okay.
If you talking about,
what about black supremacy? Is black supremacy a ghost?
Where is black supremacy? Because the word supreme only means supreme. There can only be one supreme.
So it is a ghost.
Where are black people supreme?
Is it a ghost or not?
I'm asking you, where are black people supreme? You show me where black people are supreme, and then I'll show you a black supremacist.
Okay, so it's very difficult to converse with people who dance the entire conversation. Now, so I'm trying to figure out how to get this contract signed by the leaders, right? And that's why I say you may not be the right person to speak to about this, because it's impossible to figure stuff out whenever you just banging the entire time.
Well, no, well, I already said that IQ is going to send the contract to the legislature after it's been looked over by a number of people. You know, he's got lawyers and psychiatrists and historians and all these people looking at it and going over it with a fine comb so it can be detailed before it's presented. So all that's already in the works. It's not like, I don't know how we got to black supremacy from that, because I don't see any black supremacists. I just don't see that. There can only be one supreme.
Okay, all right.
And matter of fact, the fact that we have to go through a white channel in order to get to anything of significance means that we're not supreme. So we can cut out that.
What's the white channel that you're talking about?
Well, we're talking about we have to go through legislature.
So that's a white channel?
Of course it is. It's going to be approved by a bunch of people on a panel.
Right, but why is the legislature considered a white channel, though?
Because that's what it is. Look at it. Look. If we sitting in a room with them, literally sitting in a room with them, and people are about to sign that paper, and you look at that table, who's going to be sitting at the table?
Sheila Jackson Lee.
Sheila Jackson is one person. Out of how many on that
leader?
Out of how many on that panel?
She's the leader of the Judiciary Committee.
She is a face of the Judiciary Committee. She is one person. She is not the idea of anything. She is a face. And she knows that. She said that a number of times. She knows that.
Right, because she needs the support of the people in the community. So, but at any rate, she's the boss. So now,
she's not the boss. Stop that. She's not the boss.
She's not the boss of the Judiciary Committee.
She's not the boss. She reports. She's
the chairman of the chairwoman.
She can have whatever title she like, and I'm not going to take that away from her. I'm not throwing her under the bus. I love Sheila, but she is one body of many, and her opinion,
right? And the many
scrapped.
Act like yourself, which is just don't figure it out. Just keep saying how it can't happen.
I'm a realist. I'm not saying that it's not going to happen.
A realist means that it can happen. A realist don't mean that you are super skeptic.
I didn't say that it can't happen. Mm-hmm. If I thought that, I wouldn't back the idea. That would be silly of me. Mm-hmm. I'm saying that we have to be realistic about where it's going. When we say legislature, we have to know what that means. And just look at it for what it is.
Right. That's what I was trying to learn, that part, but you didn't want to teach me. So okay. So let me figure out.
I just said it just now.
So now there are multiple plans now. For he ain't the only plan. Ankh got a plan. IBTW got a plan.
Now here's another thing that we have a huge problem with. We'll start on an idea, but then we'll have 8 or 9 different directions, going in 8 or 9 different directions, which only adds ammo against the overall cause or production that we're trying to get into.
Right, that's exactly my point. That we all need to be saying the same thing. And
Yes, I agree.
at the same time, I'm saying everybody needs to have the same conversation because it's the same goal. It's called reparations, and I had to define that for you 4 times. So that's the goal. So now, how you get there is 20 different paths, 100,000 different paths to it.
Well, how you get there?
It don't matter how you get there.
How we get there is through discussion, questions, and answers. And that's why I asked you time and time again what reparations was, because I wanted to make sure that I had a clear understanding of what you thought it was, because it may have been different from mine. So that's how we come to clarity. That's how we get understanding.
Right. Okay, so now, what city are you? Just pick a city in the United States.
I'm in Chicagoland.
Okay, Chicago, right? Now, you got people who live in Washington State. You got people who live in California. You got people who live in Colorado. You got people who live in Ohio. You got people who live in Michigan. I live in North Carolina. There are people who live in Georgia and Florida. So they're going to find the best way to get to Chicago that they can. But the goal, the end result is Chicago, brother. So I'm saying reparations, that's the you just get there and make it legislation. You understand? Now, what I'm trying to say?
No, I don't, because you don't want to just get there. Just getting there, you might get there, and then somebody tell you what they want you to have instead of what you deserve.
This conversation funny, man.
So you don't want to just get there.
No, brother. Okay, see, Chicago ain't the end goal. Okay, so now you don't understand the parable. Okay, I got you. All right, now pick a landmark.
Okay, I do understand in the wide range of what you're saying. Okay, work toward the goal. Even if you on different paths, just keep working toward the goal, and eventually somebody is going to get there.
All of us are going to get there. That's the whole point of going to Chicago. We'll all have reparations, and then when we get to Chicago, we can say, hey, you know what? Now that I'm in Chicago, I want to buy a house in Chicago. Nah,
okay,
man, I don't like Chicago. I'm going to buy a house in Canada. I'm going to move to... No, I'm going to move to Hawaii. So you don't
like North Carolina, but I like North Carolina, but that still ain't got nothing to do with what I'm talking about. I'm talking about at the end of the day, none of that is going to matter, because it's going to come down to the people who sit at the desk. It's going to cut.
Nah, not at all.
We can't build our plans.
They work for us.
We cannot build our plans around what someone else is doing. It has to be done of our own accord.
Yeah, that's why I said, when we get to Chicago, look at all this money I got in Chicago. Wow. Thank you. Now, I want to live in Hawaii. You want to live in North Carolina. Somebody else want to live in Chicago. So now we can figure out what we're going to do with our own money. You understand? So, but the first step is you got to make the call. Hey, everybody come to Chicago. And then everybody starts getting on their highways. Some people start getting on the flyways. They get on the plane. Some people get on the train. Some people get on the bus, and they get to Chicago. This parable is so simple to me. It's nauseous. It's making me nauseous.
I know what you're saying. You're gonna have to be on.
Why are you trying to act like you don't understand?
No. I'm not dodging around that. Once you get what you got, you know what I'm saying? If you get it, once you get what you got to be on one accord.
That's why I keep having to bring up parables, but you don't.
I'm saying if.
Parables.
I'm saying
I brought up Jekyll Island for a purpose.
Let me explain.
Because there was only 6 people who did that.
You talking about 6 white people.
So they're superpowers. They're like superheroes or something.
They're superpowers working within their super system. It's their system. They can do that. That's facts.
System. Okay, that's an argument. That's okay. I'm trying to accept your arguments as reality, but I just kind of don't see.
That is reality. Jekyll Island was a reality. They wanted to change the landscape, and they did it within their parameters. They did it under their system. That's what they did. They did that.
But the system has a blindfold on, and it's holding scales and stuff.
The system has a blindfold on. You know what? I can't take that away from you. If that's what you think, I can't take that away from you. You have victims guaranteed qualification on that.
Hold on. That sounds negative. Did you just diss me? Victims guaranteed qualification. What? You trying to say I got Stockholm syndrome or something?
No. In the code.
What does victims guaranteed qualification mean,
in the black code, to apply to what a non-white person, victim of white supremacy, chooses to say about race, racism, or counter-racism during the existence of white supremacy, which is racism, including anything that he or she chooses to say as it pertains to white supremacy racism, is how it works, how non-white persons are victimized by it, or what to do or not to do about it. So you have a guaranteed qualification to say whatever you want to about racism, because you're a victim of it. So I can't take that away from you. I'm not qualified to take that away from you. That's your thought. But in a realistic world,
I don't see how this is getting closer to Chicago at all. So, okay, so my topic has been effectively shut down, and it's impossible on this particular panel to gain support for the goal of reparations.
see, you missed the whole point. Listen, I'm not saying that reparations is not possible. I'm saying that you have